Harry, this softening in the polling, show us why the Biden campaign is worried.
Why are they worried? I mean, take a look at the numbers now and compare it to where we were 4 years ago at this particular point among black voters.
And so I got involved as a kid in the civil rights movement because the Philadelphians know this, at least the older ones do. Delaware was the only state in the nation, Wilmington the only city in America, occupied by the military for 9 months after Dr. King was assassinated. I said I'd not increase the tax of anybody making less than $400,000 a year. I'm showing you who I am, and Trump has shown you who he is. And today Donald Trump is pandering and peddling lies and stereotypes. They're trying to erase black history. We're going to write black history because it's American history. It's the same guy who wanted to tear gas you as you peacefully protested George Floyd's murder. We'll never forget lying around and him lying around, actually.
Mr. President, can you tell us, sir, Donald Trump refers to himself as a political prisoner and blames you directly. What's your response to that, sir? Do you think the conviction will have an impact on the campaign? We'd love to hear your thoughts, sir.
Should he be on the ballot, sir?
Look at that sorry excuse for a human being. Did you see that stupid smirk? Now we know for sure that Dementia Joe was behind the idiocy of the persecution and prosecution of Trump. That 1 20-second clip needs to be shown over and over until November. And you know, I'm certainly going to do my part to spread that far and wide. I know that you're smart people. I know that you've been Trump supporters for quite some time. So at this point, you have to realize with everything that's going on that Dementia Joe and his cohorts have made a huge mistake. And that big mistake is that they have taken the black vote for granted. And then they made that mistake even bigger, monumentally bigger, by convicting Trump. Let me give you a little bit of insight. In case you haven't realized it, I'm a black man, and I've been this way, for decades. But what I've been hearing over the last week has been stunning to say the least. And then, after this scam, phony trial ended, my phone has not stopped. It's been blowing up ever since the conviction. You see, Dementia Joe has pissed off a demographic that they have counted on, depended upon for decades. The true sleeping giant has been woken up, and that true sleeping giant are black voters. And not only have they woken up, they're pissed. This video is to give all of you some real hope. I am so surprised that the cavalry is coming to support Trump from a very unlikely place. And it's coming in huge numbers to support Donald Trump. Let me show you some information to support what I'm saying to you.
Harry, this softening in the polling, show us why the Biden campaign is worried.
Why are they worried? I mean, take a look at the numbers now and compare it to where we were 4 years ago at this particular point among black voters. And we see a clear decline in support. At this point, Joe Biden's just getting 70% of the black vote. 4 years ago at this point, he was at 81%. Look at that doubling of support for Donald Trump from 10.
This piece was taken before the conviction. I guarantee you it's even bigger right now. Now you say to yourself, Barry, what does this really mean? Remember, back in 2020, when that last election happened, Biden only won by a few points. He's lost 11 points just with the black vote up until now. And the black vote is continuing to shift towards Trump. Now make no bones about it. I am not saying that Trump will win the black vote. Not gonna happen. Never gonna happen. Not in probably my lifetime. But as you can see with these numbers, he doesn't have to win the black vote. He just has to chip off enough where it makes a difference. And now they're getting alarmed, really alarmed, because what's happening is seismic.
10% up to 21%. Boris, Brianna, if that held through the election, it would be the best performance for Republican presidential candidate among black voters in 64 years, since Richard Nixon back in 1960. Now, if you want
60 plus years, biggest shift in the black vote in 60 plus years. The Democrats have held the black vote, held it like this, kept these people on the plantation, and finally now people are breaking away.
want to break down the black electorate and figure out where exactly is this declining support for Joe Biden coming from, take a look at this age breakdown. Look here.
So as he talks about this, and you see what he's showing you here, over 50, 85% still remain with the Democrat. Those are people who can't learn how to move forward. It also indicates many people who are not technologically inclined. What the Democrats never realized is what would happen as people began to communicate on social media. That's why they're doing so much they can right now to censor people, because now as people can communicate, now as people aren't relying upon the news, now as people can talk to each other specifically, now as people like me can make videos, you're seeing this number just go down dramatically, and it's killing them.
If you look at those black voters age 50 and over, they're still overwhelmingly supporting Joe Biden. Look at that, 85% to 8%. But look at black voters under the age of 50.
That's incredible. Notice the difference. That's almost going on 4 times as many black people under the age of 50 are moving away from the Democrat plantation. That should make you smile this morning. Despite everything that's happened, I cannot believe that they showed this on CNN of all places. On CNN. So you know it's probably even worse.
Donald Trump, in a recent average of polls, is getting, get this, 27% support from them. Joe Biden at just 64%. So, you know, we were talking about, you heard that interview, can't treat black voters as a monolith. This age breakdown shows it. It shows that younger black voters are far less supportive of the president than older black voters are.
Yeah, that is huge, that number.
It is more than huge. It's a losing scenario. It's a doomsday apocalyptic scenario for the Democrats. That's why you're seeing what happened over the last week. That's why you're seeing every newscast and every newspaper and every website just blast convicted felon, because they're trying to take your eyes off of things. One of the biggest analogies I heard this week was, even after the conviction, you still got to pay high gas price. Today's June 1st as I make this video. Rent's due. You still got to go buy groceries. None of that has changed. Dementia Joe has screwed this country up so badly that even convicting your opponent is not going to save you at this point.
We're there. What kind of impact are we talking about? What kind of impact could this have on the election, Harry?
Yeah, you know, obviously those are national polls. But let's say that we funneled this down to the state level, right? This declining level of support among black voters for Joe Biden. What type of damage would that do to him in the Electoral College? Well, if you just took that into account and you didn't shift any other voters, take a look here in 2020, based upon the current apportionment, Joe Biden would win 303 electoral votes to Donald Trump's 235. But take into account that shift among black voters. Now, with just this shift among black voters, Donald Trump wins in the Electoral College, 291 electors.
Notice he said just with the shift in black voters. Never mind independents. Never mind suburban white women. Just with the shift of the black vote, as they're seeing right now, Trump destroys Dementia Joe.
Electoral votes to 247. Why is that? Take a look at the states that shift. You would see that the states that shift are Arizona, Georgia, Pennsylvania, where Kevin is right now, and Wisconsin. That alone would do it, and that is why black voters are so pivotal to Joe Biden's chances to win re-election.
Harry Enton, alarms going off on the Democratic side. A big opening for Republicans. That is an alarm right there, Harry.
Absolutely. It's a huge alarm. It's spiraling. It's ambulance. It's police sirens. It's any alarm you can think of. That should be what's going off on the Democratic side. These numbers, to be honest, could be deadly to Joe Biden's campaign.
Did that make you smile? Well, if that made you smile, here's even more, as some of the other libnut networks are picking up on this data and beginning to report it.
If you look at current CBS News battleground tracking polling, for example, in Pennsylvania among likely black voters compared to 4 years ago in the exit polls, he's down 10% among them, with former President Donald Trump making gains. Why that matters? Elections in Pennsylvania, Georgia, North Carolina, Wisconsin, Michigan, Arizona, Nevada, the battlegrounds, are all going to be decided by single digits, by maybe 4, just 5 figures. Any erosion of support among key constituencies to the Democratic voting coalition, black voters, younger voters, women, Latinos, is a big alarm bell to the president and his team.
Look at the fear on this guy's face. This is the guy who orchestrated that Robert De Niro interview.
But Michael, do you agree with the statement that if you don't improve those numbers, do you agree though if you don't improve your numbers, your chances to winning the White House again are shot?
Yeah, what I'm telling you is that this campaign is doing the work to win black voters and all voters who are going to decide the pathway to 270 electoral votes in November.
He understands Dementia Joe is in huge trouble, and he's terrified. Notice what she asked him. She asked him, if you don't get these black voters to come back home, you're going to lose, right? And the first thing out of his mouth was, yeah. They know it's over. Be happy. This was all a charade to hopefully put a dent in Trump's campaign. But what they're not seeing is what's still going on in the black community, and they can't stop it. Let me play that again and listen closely.
But Michael, do you agree with the statement that if you don't improve those numbers, do you agree though if you don't improve your numbers, your chances to winning the White House again are shot?
Yeah, what I'm telling you is that this campaign is doing the work to win black voters and all voters who are going to decide the pathway to 270 electoral votes in November.
And then even NBC took notice.
Recent NBC News polling shows that President Biden's support among black voters has dropped since 2020. Back then, exit polls showed black voters supported Biden over Trump by 75 points. Now that Biden advantage has narrowed to 58 points. Perhaps more concerning for Democrats, less enthusiasm. 4 years ago, 74% of black voters had high interest in the election. Now, it's just 59%.
What you've just seen is one of the huge reasons that they needed to convict Trump. That's why they pushed all in with their chips and did everything they possibly could to convict Trump. But unfortunately, they did that in May. And all of the problems that the black community and the white community are facing have not changed and will not change before November. They are absolutely desperate. Let me give you another indication. Do you guys know who Charlemagne the God is? He's a radio DJ, and he has arguably the biggest black radio show in radio and on the internet. Listen to this as he took some callers on his show to assess where the black voters may be after Trump's conviction. And it didn't go well at all.
Good morning, brother.
Peace, TK.
What up, Charlemagne? What up, Jeff?
What up?
What's your thoughts, brother? Well, I'm going to tell you, man, I feel like Trump's out there dirty, and I don't trust the system at all.
All right, so some of you guys may not understand what's going on as they're speaking in basically street language, and he goes, Trump did dirty. And what that means, for those of you who may not understand that language and how people in the hood talk, that means they did him really bad. This really sucks what they've done to Donald Trump.
You know what I mean? Especially being through the system. I'm just saying when I called yesterday about that dog situation. So it's like after you've been railroaded by this system and you see that when you walk in the courtroom, they want you to be guilty, you're going to be guilty.
So this guy recognizes when he went into the courtroom, if they want you to be guilty, you're going to be guilty. A lot of people in the black community understand how getting railroaded in the courtroom actually happened.
I don't got no trust in that process. You know what I mean? I rock with Trump. I feel like that he way better than Biden.
They didn't expect that. He didn't expect to get this kind of phone call right off the bat. I rock with Trump. Way better than Biden.
And I can't stand him. Biden the devil, man. Biden the same one. Y'all remember them politicians in the 90s? I know y'all got family members that was victim of that.
All right, so what he just did, he talked in reference to what Dementia Joe, what he pushed back in the 90s in terms of, basically increasing incarceration of black people. So the host, who's, been basically a Dementia Joe advocate until this year, tries to push back on a 30, 40-year-old thing with Donald Trump, saying, remember back the day, he didn't want black people in his buildings, and you know about the Central Park 5, right? And then the guy says something to him.
The 86 mandatory minimum sentencing, the 88 crack law, 94 crime bill. Yeah, for sure.
Well, thank you, TK. That went away behind that nonsense. And so how can anybody black vote for Biden?
Ooh, how can anybody black vote for Dementia Joe? Straight up, on the biggest black radio show in the country, this young man said straight up, how does any black person vote for Dementia Joe. They did not expect this, especially since they were taking it live.
The antics that those people take, he going to black cookouts all of a sudden, he doing all this stupidness. It's like a slap in the face. I respect Trump because at least Trump real.
At least Trump is real, not the choreographed bucket of chicken where Dementia Joe is sitting at this table with some choreographed, manicured black family sitting next to him. Trump's out there in the hood in Bronx.
He might sound stupid, he's not articulate, whatever. My quality of life was better under Trump. We didn't have all these problems at the border under Trump. We didn't have none of this going on.
See, I really don't think the Democrats thought that black and Hispanic people were paying attention to the border. And now they're like, oh, wow, are you kidding me? They noticed? Yeah, they did.
But I do think Trump is a narcissist, and I think he's going to be in a position where he is going to be his way or the highway. I think he's going to go on a revenge tour if he does, and I don't think he necessarily listens to opinions. I think he does what he wants to do, and I don't think that's a great thing for the country as well, though.
So this guy was one of the other hosts of the panel of the show, said Trump's a narcissist, he's going to do what he wants to do, he's not going to listen to other people's opinion. You mean like a puppet being told what to say, who just shuffles out there with dirty poo-poo diapers? You mean like that kind of guy? Come on, man. That's weak. That caller sees through this.
That's your question, sir. You know, we talk about the policies that the President Biden implemented in the late 80s and the 90s, you know, very racist policies that impacted our community. But you also got to think about a lot of the racist things that he wasn't the president then, but President Trump did. And
so right away, like I told you, here we go into some whataboutism. Well, what about what he did? I mean, you got to take into account what he did.
The 90s, you know, whether it was what he was doing with his tenants, right?
Well, not letting black people stay in some of his buildings.
Yeah, whether it was what he did with the Central Park 5 by taking that out in the paper.
He's
shown racism too. So when you're talking about two white men, they both.
Now, hold on a second. Taking an ad out against, what he thought at the time were criminals, he didn't say we need to put these black guys in jail. He didn't say we need to put the N-words in jail. He said these people who perpetrated this crime should be in jail. However, you're not allowed as a white person to say that a certain black person should be in jail because that's automatically racist. So that was never proven that it was a racist word. It was just him, basically saying, I need to keep this city safe, and these 5 people who did this need to go to jail. His problem is he jumped the gun before they found out what really happened, but he never said in that entire ad that he wanted to remove these black people out of New York.
Racist.
You know what I'm saying?
But look at the difference. Look at one of these racists made policies that actually affected lives. That mess what Trump had going on, his buildings, his talking about the Central Park 5, that had nothing to do with life.
Boom. That was a personal citizen who was interested in his city. This wasn't a politician back then who was trying to basically institute policies. That guy just called them out on their BS. They got caught flat-footed and went, whoa, this guy actually understands what he's talking about.
That was small. That's small.
So
but when you look at
Biden
Biden making actual policies,
I'm with you. Right. But now this person that was racist in the 90s is going to potentially be president of the United States of America again.
But he was already president. You didn't have that problem before when Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson and everybody else was out there asking money for him, but all of a sudden, because he became president, he becomes all of a sudden a racist, which is complete, utter BS.
So you don't think that he's going to implement policies that will be racist? I'm just asking questions. I'm just playing white devil's advocate.
No.
Oh,
not at all. Not at all.
The guy goes, no, not at all. This is devastating. I hope you understand. If you're filtering through this is devastating for Dementia Joe's campaign. Black people are opening up and going, I can see this. I know what this is. I still have to go to the grocery store, the gas station, and pay my rent. Saying that someone's racist for something they did 30 plus years ago, I'm not really worried about that right now.
No, because when Trump was in office, I didn't have the problems I have now.
When Trump was in office, I didn't have the problems I have now. How do you combat that? How do you look somebody in the face and say, yeah, but I'm doing great in that other country over there that we keep sending weapons and money to? And guy's like, I don't care. I didn't have these problems when Trump was in office.
At all. I don't think it was ever about a black and white with Trump. It's definitely about a black and white with Biden.
Ooh, this has got to be painful. I hope you guys are really paying attention to this and saying to yourself, yeah, this makes a lot of sense.
Okay, all right.
Okay, all right.
Marta,
turn your radio down.
Turn your radio down, Marta.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. So we're asking, you're a Trump supporter. We're asking the fact that he's a convicted felon. He was convicted of 34 counts yesterday. Does that change your view on Donald Trump?
Well, my family is a Trump supporter, and I think I'm probably...
I like this one. She's kind of on the fence. So this is a good indication of where some of the black community are really, really thinking.
We're going to end up voting for him because he's already getting away with murder. So, I mean, what else can we do in this country?
Vote for something.
It's so twisted.
You can always vote. You can always vote for somebody who's not going to get away with murder.
So now, she's like, I'm going to hold my nose, and I don't really like Trump. But, I know he's getting away with murder and he's been doing all these things, but he still smells better than Dementia Joe, so I'm going to have to push the button. That, to me, is the more devastating of all the callers he speaks to here, and something that Dementia Joe's campaign doesn't understand, that people who don't even like Trump, I've seen it over and over on X, people who don't even like him are going, yeah, I got to go this way.
There's other options. you don't. I know that.
I know that, but at this point, Biden is not that good either, and my family's already voting for Trump. So I'm thinking,
no, they don't know. They don't understand. They're trying to convert you, but they don't understand how it's not working.
Anything else would be better. Anybody else would be better, but nobody stepped up.
Now, see, that to me is something that none of the pollsters are able to measure. They can't measure the people who are like on the fence who just think A or B. I'm gonna go this way because the other guy sucks worse. Imagine that. There is no data. None. Hey, can we talk to people who just think they both suck? And if you think they both suck, which one is the less of the suckage? And people are saying, even if I don't like Donald Trump, I would rather have Trump than have Biden. That is not being measured. And I'm telling you, those voters, especially in the black community, are breaking to Trump.
Democrats, y'all in trouble come November.
And finally, Charlamagne goes, y'all in trouble. After he just heard that, he's like, he called it. Y'all in trouble. He knows this guy has had his finger on the pulse of the black community for years. He has made his millions by talking to black people every single day. And what he just said, that's it. The declaration has been made. He has said it on his radio show, live, broadcast to the nation. Y'all in trouble come November.
And this is why I keep saying over and over, you cannot
Why you say y'all?
Because I'm talking to the media right now, especially the left media and all of these left personalities. Like, you got to stop focusing so much on how bad Donald Trump is. Yeah, you can run all the stories about Donald Trump using the N-word. You can run, he got convicted of 34 counts. All of that is accurate news. But at some point, you got to start talking about the good things that President Biden and Kamala Harris are doing.
You can't. They're not doing anything. That is the problem. They have to focus on saying Trump's such a bad guy. He's convicted of 34 counts, 34 felonies. He's been impeached 2 or 3 times. He's got babies with different women. And everybody in the black community is like, but I'm still paying too much for gas. I can't pay my rent. Groceries are too high. And I see you giving all these other people money, and I see what you're doing with these newcomers. You can't combat it. There's nothing, absolutely nothing that Dementia Joe and Kamala can actually say at this point. That, to me, is the most devastating part about all of this. It is now June as I'm making this video. So we're less than 4 months away, 4.5 months away before this election. And nothing, government doesn't move that fast. You're not going to see an immediate change in any of the economic numbers that affect the black and Hispanic community and your community. You're not going to see those changes. So right now, it's cooked. It's baked in. Dementia Joe can't win. Barry, how can you be so confident? Because I'm seeing this data. I called it. I told my wife. I told my friends. I said, and I said this years ago, if ever there was a candidate who could chip away just enough of the black vote to get into double digits, 15, 20%, it's over. They have counted, they have depended upon the black vote for so many decades that they felt they just had it in the bag. And right now, just as Charlemagne the God said, y'all in big trouble come November.
Because we're not getting enough of that. So being that we're not getting enough of that, all people see is Trump, 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 Trump. And believe it or not, top of the mind awareness, I have them in the voter booth doing what? Voting Trump, 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 Trump.
It's that simple. Top of the mind awareness. Notice what this smart man just said. Top of the mind awareness. As you go to vote, as you are on your way to vote, you are reminded how Dementia Joe has screwed up the country. You have to put gas in your car. It's just that simple. It's November when the election's coming. That means Christmas season is right around the country. You know what you can spend on gifts for your children and your family and friends. That is not going to change. Be happy, people. Dementia Joe screwed up this country so bad that he can't fix it. Can't be done. And right now, many people are starting to realize it.
Y'all better start talking about the good that Biden is doing and stop focusing.
There is nothing good. There is nothing good they can talk about. That's why they're not talking about it.
So much on the negative Trump is doing.
Okay, well, touche. Tell us some of the good that President Biden and Kamala's doing.
Okay, all right. I put it back on you. Tell me what he's done good.
That's not my job.
He can't. Nobody can. It's not my job because they can't. I'm sorry if I'm laughing and feeling giddy about this. I am feeling as giddy about this as they were having him convicted. As they saw Trump convicted and how they were high-fiving, I'm looking at this black data going, you're screwed, you're toast.
Born and raised in Houston, sir.
Houston, okay. Nice. So what's your thoughts on Donald Trump and the fact that he's a convicted felon now? Does that change your views on him?
No, sir.
No, sir. Probably a military guy right there.
I am a convicted felon, man.
Oh, no, he's not military. He's a former convicted felon himself, so he knows firsthand.
I'm still the best guy that I know.
I love that.
Okay, so if you didn't hear him, he goes, hey, number one, I'm not changing from Trump. Number two, I'm a convicted felon. Number three, I'm the best guy that I know. Meaning, I'm a convicted felon, I'm still a good guy. You understand what he just said there? I'm a convicted felon, but I'm still a good guy. And I understand that Trump is too.
I love that, King. That's right. You're the best guy that you know. That's exactly how you should feel.
Not only that, man, the conviction don't make you a bad guy, man. My conviction made me a better person.
Me too.
Bingo. And if you heard, one of the other people on the panel said, me too. I got convicted. I did something wrong. I've become a better person. I don't think Democrats quite understand the word redemption.
My conviction made me a person with morals and principles. My conviction made me the guy that I am today. Make me still want to do right and do for others. But it's like it's a losing battle, bro. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants something for nothing. Everybody want to keep screwing me. I'm the bad guy. Mm-hmm. I lost my job. I'm steady helping people get back and forward to the same job. I'm still Uber and lift the people back and around for free. And
that says it all. People aren't treating me the same. I've lost my job, and Biden isn't helping whatsoever. I've got nothing to look forward for, except that I feel I'm still a good guy.
Hey man, conviction might be the best thing to happen. It might make him a better person.
So long story short, it's not going to stop you from supporting Donald Trump.
Yes, sir. No.
Long story short, a conviction isn't going to stop you from supporting Donald Trump. That says it all right there. But I've got more for you. And by the way, after those 3 or 4 calls, he stopped taking calls. He'd heard enough. It's over. And I guarantee you right now, Dementia Joe's team, they know they've made a huge mistake. Despite being convicted on 34 charges, I confidently believe Donald Trump is set up to win in a landslide. And Dementia Joe, he never counted on what's happening in the black community. They took the black voters for granted. It's insulting, and many of us know it. And unfortunately for Dementia Joe and the Dems, it's growing.
Trump is a great president because Trump is all about the land of opportunity. He don't see color. He don't see race. Trump is about the people.
Thank you.
I love Donald Trump.
What do you think?
I hope he come back.
What do you think of all the Trump goods? But there's only one Biden camp.
I don't even get Biden. No, forget Biden. Forget Biden.
Did he get
Trump.
That guy had more.
Bring Trump back, please. Trump.
Yeah.
Should have left Trump where he was. America was much better when Trump was in office. Biden came in at the right time because people didn't like who was in charge. They didn't like what he was saying. But the economy was flowing. We had jobs. Pull up at the gas pump right now. And this is gas that's coming down. So where was it at? How did it get there? And while we're going through what we're going through, you're going to send, 40 to 80 billion, not million, overseas. So you're funding something else up under our nose that we don't know about. We've never had a recession where gas, housing, you name it. At one time, even when people's houses were going into foreclosure, those people that lost their homes could at least still go into a grocery store and buy a regular price item. Now you've got houses that are out of control, cars out of control, gas out of control, food out of control. This is an out of control world, man.
He said about the rising food prices. See, it's like this. I'm a bigger dude, so I be needing the food, and it's like with it rising up, it's kind of hard for me to do it, and then so it's kind of different. And then the rising gas prices, I ain't got a car, so my mama the one with the car, and she be saying the gas be too high.
And did I say it's growing?
Donald Trump found guilty on all 34 charges, and you liberals and Democrats are having a baby. Boy, y'all shouting for joy. We got him. We got him. We finally got him. Are you serious? He can still run for president. So don't jump for joy. Don't celebrate too quick. Just like the mugshot. The more you indict, the more we unite. You get what I'm trying to tell you? And let me talk to my family out here. All my Trump supporters. I need y'all to be cool. Don't go out there acting crazy. Don't get out in the streets protesting, causing a riot. That's what they want you to do. Let everything run its course. Because November the 5th, Donald Trump will be president. I'm telling you. You heard me? We gonna make this thing so big to where it can't be rigged. Trump 2024, baby. Let's go!
It doesn't matter how or what you feel about Donald Trump, but if you're a true student of the Constitution, if you're a student of law, even if you have a moral standard of justice, all of America ought to be afraid right now for that man to be convicted without the right to adequately defend himself from charges that weren't even stated. We've lost our republic. Our Constitution is dead. And everyone else in America, we ought to be afraid for ourselves. It's not a good thing. And for those that think it is, that's the enemy.
Oh, by the way, it's growing.
Let me say this. My mind was not made up before, but it is definitely made up now. And I will definitely be voting for Donald Trump because the weaponization of the legal system, it is so blatant, and this corruption cannot stand. Whether I like Donald Trump or not, which I don't, I feel that it is essential that I vote for him because I must stand against the lawfare that was put on display by the Democratic Party, Alvin Bragg, all of these folks. And it's a shame because I'm a New Yorker. I live here in New York. And as a black man who lives in the United States and in New York, I know what it's like to have the legal system used against you, specifically targeting you. So, bro, at the end of the day, to expect us to just sit back and watch this happen and just ride with it like it's okay, like we're stupid and we don't see what's going on, that's crazy. Because if you can do something like this to a former president of the United States, just imagine, people, imagine what they can do to us. I'm sorry, but I'm all in. Trump 2024.
I love Trump, and I love what he did for me and my people as black people. He really helped us out. And what they doing right now, this is like really ridiculous. These court cases and everything that they doing towards him is like trying to get him to be, they trying to just stop him from the momentum from winning the election, but it ain't happening, man. We with Trump. Black people, we really with Trump, though, like, and that's what it is.
I could literally do this for hours. I could show you video after video. Here's another one.
Donald Trump is convicted before anyone on his client list. Huh, okay. We have politicians that go into office worth about $2, and now they're millionaires. Yet he's the one being funny with money? Huh, okay. You charge him for allegedly paying people to hush when you have others who literally have unexplained bodies dropping around them. Huh, okay. Some of you have been nothing but quiet until now, afraid to speak out, but somehow believe posting a flag upside down is going to turn this whole thing around. Huh, okay. I think most of us can agree what's going on is not okay, and no one is coming to save the day. If it wasn't going to be before, unless they do something drastic, it's Trump 2024 for sure. Take action.
Hi everyone, so I'm currently in Florida right now with my son who graduated high school last week, and I turned on the radio to hear that America is a little dimmer than I found it 20 years ago. I am 40 years old. This June will be 3 years since I became American. This year will be the very first year in my entire life that I will have the opportunity to vote for a president. And this year, I will be voting for a convicted felon. Make America great again.
People from all over the country are beginning to get in touch with me. It's amazing because I didn't see this kind of activity 4 years ago. In fact, most of you watching this video, you've never seen this. It's simply unprecedented. We heard earlier from CNN, it hasn't happened in 60 plus years. And the worst part about this for Dementia Joe is that it's fatal. Many black voters are not going back to the plantation. And you have to wonder to yourself, why would they? There's nothing good about what Dementia Joe has done for the black community.
You know how many partnerships I'm going to lose for making this video? Do you know how many partnerships? I can see them calling me right now. I'm about to lose a lot of money, but I don't care. I ain't never done nothing for the money. I've never done nothing to make other people happy. I say what I want to say when I want to say it.
Now, understand this guy is a content creator like I am. And if you have any idea what we go through as content creators that happen to support Trump. You don't know how many times we get restricted and different kind of things happen to us because they don't want this message going out. Earlier I showed you that 18 to 49-year-old group, which I'm not a part of, but I happen to support Trump, is moving towards Donald Trump. And they can't stop it because people are communicating. They've been making videos as you've been seeing. And this guy is like, I don't care if my sponsors want to leave me, go for it. This is more important.
I'm for sure voting Trump 2024. Ain't no question in the world, dude. I am voting Trump 2024. And I ain't a liberal, so I can tell you why I'm going to do something, okay? Preach. The reason I'm going to vote Trump 2024 is because one main reason. This man getting the people treatment.
Okay, so now he's going to get a little hood on you. This man, Donald Trump, is getting the people treatment. Let him explain what the people treatment really is.
He's getting the people treatment. He ain't getting treated like a billionaire. He ain't getting treated like a president. He ain't getting treated like a politician. He's getting treated like me. He's getting treated like me. And the people that I despise, the elites, the people that don't answer to the same law that I answer to, the people that can literally bat an eye and say, hey, make that disappear from me, and it's gone, the people that never get challenged on the disrespectful BS that they commit every single day.
He knows it. We all see it. These people do whatever they want. There's not a two-tiered system of justice. There's like a 3- and 4-tiered system of justice. And many people in the black community recognize it. He's getting the people treatment.
I can't stand. But this man's getting popped for things commoners don't even get popped for. This man is under scrutiny more than a black man downtown Compton with a bag of good in his pocket. This man is being sent through a sifter so fine that they're checking what type of toilet paper he uses to make sure there's nothing illegal in it.
Preach.
And this man is now a felon. One of the only people in politics, period, that's a felon. And y'all acting like you're fighting against the system when you are on the same side as the universities, the mainstream media, 99% of politicians, every manufacturing company that does their business overseas. You think you're fighting the system when
they don't think we can see this. That is what's so amazing to me. They really think that they can put stuff on MSNBC and NBC and CNN and say convicted felon, and they don't expect us to see that how they've treated this guy, they don't even treat themselves for. You guys remember, I'll say it again, all of the NDAs that were discussed, the harassment filings in Congress, all went away. All the trips to that guy's island, who we can't even name, we can't even say the friggin' word because we would get boomed by the people upstairs. We can't even say the name of that island. None of the people. The woman went to jail, and not a single client has been named. Not a single person. All these people traveled over there. None of them have been arrested. So, of course, people in the black community, the Hispanic community, and yes, in the white community, understand this is complete, unadulterated BS. This guy is being basically hung out there on a crucifix, per se, and saying, look how bad this guy is, because here's everything he did. He slept with a porn star, supposedly. He paid her off, supposedly. And, you know, but we don't know all the other indiscretions. Oh, he violated something. We all can see it. We all understand it's BS.
Your entire face is plastered over Target, Nike, Walmart. Every time your month comes around, you think you're fighting against the machine when you literally go to universities and they preach what you preach. Please, you are not going against the system. You are just not smart enough to realize you are the fuel and the cogs in the machine you don't even understand is bending you over a barrel.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He's talking about other creators. He's talking about young people and, you know, the young people who go to protest and, you know, take pictures on their iPad, you know, those kind of people. It's absurd, especially the media who think that they're above it all and they will be right with Trump when that time comes. If the Dems continue to expand upon their power, there won't be a media.
This is what's insane to me. Fight the system. How can you fight the system, Becky? You are literally the thing that makes the system work. Dye your hair something other than purple, get a brain, and come back again and let's see what we can do.
Oh my God, it's so funny. Some of you guys may know the band Rage Against the Machine, but they have come rage with the machine. They have become what they thought was bad. And it's just amazing how you people look at yourselves in the mirror. You are now what you thought was bad.
But this is why, no questions asked, I'm voting Trump 2024. This man does not get the special treatment. He is not on the side of the universities. He is not on the side of the Bilderberger meetings. He is not on the side of the Clintons, the Obamas, the Rockefellers, the universities, the large corporations. This man is the guy who's fighting the machine. This guy is the rage against the machine. He is the one that is giving you the ability to say, F this, I will not stand for it anymore. I am not going to let you raise my taxes and have you send them overseas. I am not.
Have I not been saying that to you people? Have I not been saying the exact same thing? Now you're seeing many, many, many black people basically saying the exact same words. We've had it. It's enough. It's enough.
I'm not going to let you tell me what I should put in my body, what I have to put in my body just to function in the world that is supposed to be free. No way, no how. Y'all literally want to preserve democracy when the president you put in place is the least democratic president we've had at any time in our history.
Notice he said put in place. Very key. Many people in the black community understand that as well. They know what happens. They know how these pastors in some of these communities work. They know who some people got paid to do certain things. They all know. There's no secret here. The media doesn't want to talk about it, but we know.
Y'all have lost me. Y'all have lost me. You have no ability to compromise. You have no ability to put your pride to the side and be like, ooh, we effed up. You have no ability to look around and realize, no, it's not okay that prices are up. It's not okay that more people are being helped overseas than right here domestically. It's not okay that we can't solve our SA trafficking, yet they can pinpoint every last dollar that you spend, even if it's cash. You aren't asking the right questions.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll be damned if I stand by and not say something about it. So any company that is paying me, that is working with me, that sees this video and is like, oh my gosh, John's office rocker, drop my ass. I don't care. I am tired. Americans have been corralled into working for companies that control their freedom of speech out.
Absolutely. You have to understand, there's advertising that appears on my videos. That's how, we get paid. But some people, and the people upstairs in the black helicopter section, don't want to put the ads on certain videos. They don't want to reward you. It's amazing that you people watching this, and I mean that affectionately, my audience who provide super chats and tips and do different things. Amazing how much that actually means, because what other people are doing to basically tell us we can't talk to you. It's simply incredible.
Side of work, I'm not working for you right now. I'm not making a video for your product right now. So honestly, you shouldn't really have a problem with what I say.
Yeah.
But the stifling of speech from apparently the free speech side of the aisle, right? I can't tell you how many emails I got back in 2020 and 2021 that had BLM, LGBTQ activist or whatever. Yet if I put Trump 2020 in my bio, they'd drop me like that. So where is the free speech? Why can't I like what I like and you like what you like?
That is the question we should be asking every single liberal. Why don't you do you and allow us to do us? Why do you have to go with a megaphone and ram your ideas down our throat and tell us we can't think any other way? We just entered the month of June. You know what that means, and you know what's coming. You know for the next 30 days, it's like, right down your throat. Hey, man, if you live that life, go live it. Be happy. Leave me out of it. Definitely leave my grandkids out of it. I don't understand why your life I have to become part of your way of living. That's insane.
I'm not going to get mad if someone I work with or some company I work with is pro Joe Biden. I don't care, man. You have the freedom to do and think whatever you want. And I'm not here to tell you not to. But you want to control my speech and I ain't here for it. This is a long video and I got to stop. But I'm pissed off, man. I'm pissed off. This is a big deal. I think you guys are going to realize this in the next 3-4 years, how serious this is right now. And you're going to be pissed off that you didn't say something. Oh, I got too many followers. I'm a big time builder. I have to make content for Milwaukee. If I say something, Milwaukee might drop me. Bro, drop my ass. See if I care. I think the true companies that really stand behind America and actually want their businesses to thrive and continue to grow and thrive in America understand exactly what I'm saying.
As you can see, I know this video is kind of long, but many black voters are catching on. They didn't expect this whatsoever. They don't have enough newcomers to take care of the shift that's about to happen. And I have to tell you, although I've highlighted black voters today, it's no longer about color. Because of their conviction of Trump, the black voter is the same as the white voter. Finally, there is some unity. We have come together and we're all saying we've had enough. I'm not naive. I know the fight ahead of us will be tough. But you have to be a little bit happy and smiling right now because the Dementia Joe camp really screwed up. And the best part of all of this is they can't fix it. It's unrecoverable. So please embrace your black and Hispanic Trump supporters, especially because you just watched them rig a conviction on a political opponent. And you also know, probably you know, they have the capacity to rig something else. I can't say the words, but you know what I'm talking about. And by the way, screw this guy. Screw Dementia Joe. FJB. It's over. Coming for you, bro.
This was done by the Biden administration in order to wound or hurt an opponent, a political opponent.
Mr. President, can you tell us, sir, Donald Trump refers to himself as a political prisoner and blames you directly. What's your response to that, sir?